If you still write your notes like this, stop it. It's super time consuming, and half the time when I look back at my notes, I don't even know what I wrote. When I was doing that, I had like straight 70s, but now I get 90s because I changed this one thing. Go over to TurboLearn, drag in your slides, literally make all these notes for you, and there's a chat box you can ask any questions. Go over to the quiz section, and here they made a quiz based off of my notes. When you get a question wrong, it even tells you why. So try TurboLearn if you're trying to bump up your grade, because there's no reason you should be struggling when this exists.
Hey everyone, welcome to another video. In this video, I'll be showing you guys step by step exactly how you guys can use SEEDANCE 2.0 to literally create the most realistic AI UGC videos. Now, just for context, this video is a few months old, but the workflow is exactly the same. This tool is more widely available now. In the example of this video, I'm using it on the Gmeng platform, but you can access SEEDANCE 2 now on any API, File AI, Replicate, Key AI, as well as directly on the CapCut platform and the Gemini platform. So I hope everything is straightforward. If you have any questions, drop them below. All right, guys, so I'm going to be breaking down exactly how I made this UGC video. And the way I made this video was I used a few different methods. So now starting with the starting image, which is probably the most important part for the realistic video. I got the starting image by just simply searching up on TikTok an example product, or maybe something similar to the product you're trying to do UGC for. And then I did the Pinterest JSON method. So let's say this example is a software where I'm showing a consumer app, which is TurboLearn AI. What I can do is I can either search up TurboLearn AI since it's a very well-known app already, or you can just search up like any like consumer app or any like thing in your niche. So if you're doing ecom, search up like an ecom brand, you'll find UGC videos about ecom brands. If you're doing, consumer apps, you'll find UGC videos about consumer apps. So let's say I did Duolingo, right? I searched up Duolingo on TikTok.
Stop using Duolingo.
Then now I found this starting frame already of this person who's doing a UGC video about Duolingo. So all you have to do is screenshot this starting image, and then you use the same ChatGPT JSON method where we put this screenshot into ChatGPT or Gemini, and it gives us a JSON code to replicate this image, but just with a different person, different background, etc. But it'll be in the same type of feeling and stance, which is what we want. There's a full walkthrough guide breakdown in the AI images section about this, so you guys should take a look at that before coming here, because I do break down exactly how to create realistic images with Nano Banana Pro. And that's pretty much what I did. That's for this starting image. I simply just use the JSON method with a realistic starting frame of someone who already had a UGC video. Then I change the character, and then I put my I put the iPad and whatever thing you have to show for your product. So essentially, once I had that, I changed the frames for each one. So I had this starting frame, screenshotted this, and then I put it into Nano Banana Pro, got a different frame of just her looking at her computer. And then for the actual B-roll, the B-roll is real footage. So you can find real footage of your product online, or you can just record this real footage with your phone, or if you have pre-asset B-roll real footage, you can use that. That's the only way right now to get realistic B-roll. But as for the talking parts, that can be done with AI. But the B-roll footage itself has to be recorded from the real perspective. But I am working on a workflow for AI B-roll, which I will update the course once that is complete. But as for now, you'd have to record your B-roll realistically and then just stitch it together with your AI video with a voiceover. So I'll be showing you guys exactly how I did that. And that's pretty much it for the starting images. Just change the different frames for each part. A gear, I change the frame again to her just in front of the camera without the iPad, and then you animate that with SEEDANCE. So I'm going to be walking you through exactly now the exact prompts I use for this video and my SEEDANCE 2 prompting system that I'm using to create realistic AI videos. Okay, so as you guys can see for this video, this is the exact frame I used for that first.
If you still write your notes like this, stop it. It's super time consuming, and half the time when I look back at my notes, I don't even know what I wrote. When I was doing that, I had like straight 70s, but now I get 90s because I changed this one thing. Go over to
As you can see there, that was the first part of the video I use. And essentially, I'm using the same method for the realistic images. So you want to cover her face, and then you want to add another screenshot of her face cut out. And then essentially you just want to reference that this is a starting image person with the one that her face is cut out. And then you want to add, this is the face you use for her. And then for that part, you want to add her actual face that's cut out with Canva as shown before. And then that's for the first two parts. And then for the AI audio, what you want to do is you want to say, make her say this audio. You can do that. Or what you can also do is you can find a realistic person talking online. Let's say I went right here and I wanted to get this video right here.
Duolingo to study Japanese. So guys, Duolingo is fun, but
either you can talk or you can find a realistic person talking online so the cadence is more real. And you can literally screen record this person talking, put it into an MP4 to MP3. And then what you have to do in your SEEDANCE 2 prompt is this. You have to say, use this audio as the voice ID for how she sounds like, right? Just reference that and then say, do not make her say anything in that audio. Make her say this. And then you can say, hey, my name is Sarah, for example, right? So even though that audio isn't saying what you want them to say, it's simply just to get the realistic voice ID. And then now it will use this realistic voice ID to make the person say this. And SEEDANCE does that incredibly well. So if you have a realistic voice, you can input that and then say, use it as a voice ID and then change what they want to say. Or alternatively, you can just generate a voice with Minimax or ElevenLabs and then just directly input it inside SEEDANCE and create the voice like that. So those are two different ways I did it. And then next for the prompts, I have a full SEEDANCE 2 prompting system that you guys are going to be able to see in the course, where we have all the things here of how to create the SEEDANCE 2 prompts. You just enter what you want and then we'll give you the breakdown. And let me just kind of break this down to you exactly how it works. So what I do for SEEDANCE is that it follows instructions incredibly well. So what you want to do is that you want to make sure every single thing is broken down. So for 0 to 02, I say the hook and the iPad, right? Dialogue, if you still write your notes like this, stop it. Then you explain all the visuals that happen. So the video opens up with a subject holding a large iPad in her left hand, displaying a dark mode screen with dense text. You add all of that, 02 to 09, the problem and personal antidote, right? It's super time consuming, all of that, and you're good. So SEEDANCE 2 follows instructions incredibly well. So the more descriptive you are, the better it's going to be. And whatever movement you tell the person to make, whatever action you tell them to do, it's going to follow it exactly as you say. So that's one thing to know, is that it follows everything you say very well. So if you're not getting good results, it's highly due to your prompts, and it's highly due because you're not giving it enough data. And I just finish it off. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You just kind of detail each and every timestamp of the video, and then you add your dialogue, and then you explain the visuals of what's happening as well. That's what I'm doing. And then it's using the reference audio or my input audio to create this video for me. And another thing to note is that if you are just doing input audio by alone, if you're not doing this voice ID method, when you do your input audio, make sure to always still add your dialogue timestamp, right? Make sure to still always add your dialogue on top of your input audio that you put. So if you add an input audio first saying this, make sure to add under that dialogue if you still write notes like this. It just helps the model reference a little bit more so it doesn't mess anything up. And it just gives it more of a security. So it just makes it just ensures that the model says exactly what you want it to say. So that's pretty much how I generate that first scene. And then it was literally the same process for every single scene. There you go. Same method right here as well. Timestamps. And then I say, so try TurboLearn if you're trying to bump up your grade. Same exact method every single time of where I am giving them the timestamps and the dialogue. Yeah. There you go. So that's pretty much it. That's literally the workflow. And this works for literally any product. Like I can show you guys other products I've made as well. You guys may have seen this example. I just made same exact thing here of where I'm breaking down the exact actions, and I'm giving a reference audio with the reference product with the starting frame. So SEEDANCE allows many references, so you can attach all these references in your photo and create your desired result.
I just made a peanut butter cup protein coffee with 25 grams of protein. You guys know I am a religious drinker of these Jobby protein coffees, and I freaking love that they keep coming out with new delicious flavors. I mean, peanut butter chocolate, are you kidding me?
As you guys can see, that's incredibly realistic, right? And what I'm doing for that is the same method every single time. Detailed timestamps, plus dialogue, plus exact visuals I want, plus reference photos of everything. That's all I'm doing for this. So reference photo of the coffee bag, reference photo of her starting frame, using the method to get realistic starting frames inputted, and then reference photo for dialogue, reference dialogue, or voice ID method. Another thing you can do for SEEDANCE as well is that, so SEEDANCE has a prompt character restriction limit. So sometimes when you want your character to do certain movements or you want your prompt to be a bit longer, it's going to tell you that the max characters are 2000. So what you can do is you can actually upload a photo of your just detailed prompts, and you can upload this as an attachment. So I just make sure it's 9:16. Then just upload all your detailed prompts or movements or whatever additional information you want to add to the video. Make that into an image and then upload that as a reference to the SEEDANCE, and then tell SEEDANCE to use those exact movements or references as a prompt. Like let's say I didn't even want this prompt. Let's say I say, create me the video on this. You reference that. Use these as references for each part. Then I said voice, coffee bag, and then et cetera, right? This is just a method to do if you want a longer prompt that's over 2000 characters. But what I normally like to do is I like to have my 2000 characters plus a reference photo of just movements, like only movements. Like this reference photo only had the exact facial movements, facial expressions, and everything that I wanted her to do. So that's another method right there. And that's how I created this video. Same thing every single time for each of these frames. It was just do the timestamp method plus dialogue plus input audio. It's very straightforward. And that's pretty much the full process there. And I'm going to show you exactly how I edited this video right now and kind of my approach I go through when editing these videos. All right, so here's exactly how I edited this video. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm just attaching each and every single part of the thing I generated. So this was the first video you saw, the 10-second clip.
If you still write your notes like this, stop it. It's super time consuming, and half the time when I look back at my notes, I don't even know what I wrote. When I was doing that, I had like straight 70s, but now I get 90s because I changed this one thing.
And then over here, I'm adding my real B-roll footage on top of my AI voice I generated. You can generate this AI voice with SEEDANCE, or you can generate it with Minimax 11 Labs.
Go over to TurboLearn, drag in your slides, literally make all these notes for you, and there's a chat box you can ask any questions. Go over to the quiz section, and here they made a quiz based off of my notes. When you get a question wrong, it even tells you why.
There you go. You got all of that part. And then over here.
So try TurboLearn if you're trying to bump up your grade, because there's no reason you should be struggling when this exists.
Pretty straightforward. I'm just attaching all the clips and then I'm editing it all together. SEEDANCE can handle most of these edits for you if you specify it in your prompt. Let's say you say, hey, from 5 to 8 seconds, I want it to cut into a different part of her saying this final part. SEEDANCE can literally do all of that for you if you specify it in your prompt. It can handle all the edits and everything for you. So just about that. So it's pretty minimal editing. It's not too much over here. And then I'm going to show you my upscaling workflow. So it's the same Topaz upscaling workflow I use for all my videos. And what I'm doing here is I'm just simply using Topaz. So I'm going to show you exactly how I do that. So yeah, here's my Topaz upscaling workflow. This is for a different video I made, but it's going to be the same process for all the videos. You want to use 2x upscale. Then you want to make sure that it's 60 FPS frame rate. And then what you do is that once you upscale this, you add that video into CapCut, you press export, and then you want to export that video at 30 FPS. So essentially what we're doing is we're upscaling it to 60 FPS at 2x upscale, and then we're downscaling it to 30 FPS just to make it look more realistic, more visual, more realistic realism, and just the movements at 30 FPS look more real. So that's pretty much it for this SEEDANCE 2 UGC workflow. I hope everything was clear. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a DM. But essentially the process is pretty straightforward. You generate your starting image, put that into SEEDANCE, use the SEEDANCE 2 prompting system, and using the SEEDANCE 2 prompting system, it will give you your full prompts for each and every part of your scripts. And then from there, you put each of those parts into SEEDANCE, max 15 seconds long, and it will give you your video, Topaz upscale, editing in CapCut, and you're done. There you go. That's everything for the SEEDANCE 2 workflow. Hope it was clear.